Let's look at another interesting topic for the day. Here we look at the function of the cash office. Function of the cash office. Under this particular topic, we'll be looking at the purpose of this cash office. We'll also be looking at the definition of terms under this cash office. We'll be looking at the function of the cash office. We'll also be looking at the cash book entries, the checking the cash book, cash withdrawal from bank, the check summary register, security and the custody of accounting books and the document, the maintenance of adequate cash control measure. We'll be looking at the preparation of bank reconciliation statement, the importance of bank reconciliation, and so on and so forth under this particular topic. So before we move further, we'll be looking at the explanation on the function of the cash office and the description as well as the procedure for the preparation of the bank reconciliation statement. So let's move on to the topic for the day, which is the function of the cash office. Function of the cash office. Function of the cash office. So we should know that the duties of the cash office are receiving and paying cash. The duties of the cash office are receiving and paying cash. They also engage in posting cash transactions into the cash book. They also engage in opening a bank account on which checks are drawn and providing information on the cash position at a given time. The security is essential in the management of the cash office. This includes the provision and partition of a cashier cage to ensure that only authorized persons are allowed to move in and out. Effectively, internal check is also one of the most important in the operation of the cash office. To minimize fraud and detect error, up-to-date recording of transactions and regular supervision are therefore required. The maintenance of adequate cash control with respect to the establishment of cash limits, daily banking of all taking, periodical surprise cash count, installation of raid alarms, and establishment of authority limits are very important in the word cash office. So the cash office can be defined as what is centered on the activity of receiving and paying cash, posting cash transactions into the cash book, opening a bank account on which checks are drawn, and providing information on the cash position at a given time. So let's look at the format of this particular treasury cash book. Since we know that the cash book entry in the respect of cash or check payment and receipt are to be made and posting should be balanced each day, the ruling of this particular cash book provides column for cash and bank transaction and total amount on the receipt, which is debit side as well as the credit side, include the word gross amount, the deduction, and net amount payable appear on the payable or credit side. The receipt issue are to be posted on the left hand side of the cash book. The particular of the serial numbers, the payee, and the classification are also to be entered. The amount received through the bank teller or advices should be entered in the bank column and extended to the total column. Where the amount received is in cash, it enters in the cash column and extended to the total column. For payment, the voucher numbers, the payee, the names, the nature of transaction, and the check detail are entered, showing the gross amount and deduction, if any. The cash balance are to be confirmed on a daily basis. The specification of physical cash retained in the safe must be checked and certified by the head of the cash office before lockup at close of business each day. The number of vouchers in the cash book are to be properly controlled. Only one set of number is to be used in a month. So that is a cash book entry. So let's look at the format of treasury cash book. We have the TRV number, which is TRV number or date. So that is this. So we can also see the from whom receivable classification, subhead and head. You can see the treasury receipt number. You can also see the bank credit slip number. You can see the bank. You can see the cash. You can see the total. So you have treasury PV number. So we have departmental what? PV number. We have to whom payable or to whom paid. We have classification, head or sub-head. We also have the payee bank. We have payee bank. We have the check number. We also have the what? The gross amount. We also look at the deduction or cash, and we also look at the bank or net. So those are the things that normally enter in the what, so that serve as a column in the what, in the treasury cash book. So let's look at the checking the cash book. So how do we check the cash book? Normally, if you want to check a particular cash book, it is essential for you to be regularly checking of the cash book, which is serve as an important exercise in detecting error and fraud early. The physical cash balance has to be verified daily, and the specification certified in the cash book by the close of the what, of the office. The head of the central pay office or account should undertake confirmation of the posting in the cash book with the detail of the relevant payment voucher latest on the following working day. The payment vouchers have to be scrutinized to confirm the arithmetical accuracy of the gross amount, deduction, and the net figures. Care should be taken to ensure that the gross amount are to be posted as to the total amount authorized on the vouchers. The receipts are issued for deduction made and properly classified on the relevant treasury form 15, and cash paid should be for the what, net amount due. The checking the what, a cash book has to do with the important to ensure regular checking of the cash book for easy detection and the prevention of the error and the fraud. So let's look at the cash withdrawn from the bank. Cash withdrawn from the bank. Where cash is to be withdrawn from the bank, a check will be issued for the amount after due authorization processes. But without raising a payment voucher, the amount is entered as a contra entry, where a substantial amount of cash is held above the authorized maximum. Arrangements should be made to pay the excess into the bank through a teller or pay in form. This will also be a contra entry. A contra entry shows the movement of cash between the office and the bank and vice versa. Where it is necessary to keep a reasonable amount of cash float in the office for urgent transactions, withdrawal from the bank follow the same procedure. The amount withdrawn is entered in the cash float register in order to posting made in the cash book. That is, in addition to the posting made in the cash book. So it will be indicated as a contrary in the cash book, showing the movement of the cash between the office and the bank and vice versa. That is in case of the cash withdrawal from the bank. So check summary register. Check summary register. The check summary register has to do with some certain thing in such a way that it serves as a useful record for the verification of bank transaction in the cash book. All check issue, money lodged into the bank account, voucher raised to cover bank advices, teller particular, and other transactions which are already recorded in the cash book should be posted into the check summary register. The register is balanced daily. The balance in the register have to be agreed with those in the cash book as an internal check. The person posting the summary register should not be the same person handling the cash book. The head of account should check the register daily before the cashier accepts any voucher for payment. He has to ensure that all the accounting regulations are being kept. So this check summary register has to do with what it serves as a useful record for the verification of bank transactions in the cash book. So let's look at the security and the custody of accounting book and document. When talking about security document carrying monetary value, such document can be used to defraud the government if they fall into unauthorized hand or make government suffer loss if accidentally destroyed. So the security control of checkbook are very important in the prevention of fraud, because the issuance and handling of the check and other documents should be limited to a sizable number of staff of the pay office. So the cash head in the office, checkbook, and all unused control book are to be kept in a safe, strong room, the key of which are to be kept under the dual responsibility of senior officers. So let's look at the examples of what security document. Example of what security document. So when talking about the example of a security document, we are looking at what A checkbook. We look at the B a treasury receipt book. We have what C, which is a check summary register. We look at the cash book. We look at the payment voucher, the local purchase order, the postal order, as well as the money order. Those are the major examples of a security document. So let's look at the next on the list, which is maintenance of adequate cash control measure. Maintenance of adequate cash control measure. When we're talking about the cash control, it relates to the coordinated action which have to be taken in order to ensure that all income due to the government are being collected on a timely basis, and that fraud is what is prevented. The cardinal objective is to ensure that funds are not mismanaged or misappropriated. The various cash control measures adopted in the ministry and parastatal include A is establishment of cash limit. Establishment of cash limit, that is, they should establish a particular scenario by which the cash to be what to be given out to be what will be minimized. There will be a limit to the cash to be going out, as well as the cash to be going out, so that the appropriate measure will be put in the places just to avoid fraudulent activities among the management staffers. So the B aspect also the daily banking of all taking, that is, they must take note of all the transactions that occur in between the organization as well as the bank. C, periodical surprise cash count, that is, they must be ensuring the periodical survey of the cash count every day. So a provision of a safe that has to be under dual control, that is, they must ensure that the appropriate safe have been put in the organization in such a way that it will be managed and controlled by a senior officer of that particular organization.